I don't care what it costs, but I just want to bring Jimmy out to you. You got to train him to beat. You got to train him to beat Tommy Verrett. He's got to beat Tommy Verrett. And Dalton goes, in a month, the month it's going to take to beat that kid, they won't be in the same weight class. And I'm like, what? He's a 33 pounder in college. Jimmy's probably a 285 in high school, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Turns out he was right. Like they never wrestled again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting topic because I think short-sightedness, that's probably why, yeah, I mean, we get fired up about a lot of short-term competitions, which you should. I mean, in the moment, I think you should be fired up about that stuff, but you have to have the perspective of like, okay, who cares about the result because it's like in 6 years or whatever, they're not going to be at the same. Because this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, and talking to Mark beforehand, the fact that we weren't really like thrilled or interested to talk about the IKWF is because I love following high school wrestling, but I love, like, it is like I have a I don't know, a different type of appreciation for following the NCAA Division I tournament. The NCAAs it's just, I mean, it's the biggest of the best. It's the best of the best, right?
I mean, there's like so many different angles on this, what you just said, like things that just popped my head. But like, I remember IKWF, and I will never drop names because, like, dude, some of these guys were really, really good. And I'm talking back when my time, but there was a kid I was growing up with, and like, he was a god, and he was fucking kids up on IK. And like, I didn't see him for 2 years in high school. I'm like, dude. And I walk into a tournament, I'm at Wayne, and I go, dude, I swear that's Jimmy. I won't say the last name. And I'm like, I swear that's Jimmy so-and-so. And then someone's like, yeah, that is. I'm like, what happened to him? Where's he been? And they're like, I don't know, but he's at 140. And I'm like, then I go, what? And they go, yeah. And that tournament was wheeling. So basically there was no seating. It was a schematic. And they go, my coach goes, yeah, you get the so-and-so first round. I go, man, dude, this kid's a killer. That's a first round matchup. I said, dude, I smashed him. And if you would have told me in 8th grade that I would ever come close to beating that kid, you're out of your mind. And it's just like, when I look at IKWF stuff and why I don't get too into it is because, like, there's some really great IKWF kids who don't do shit. But I'll tell you right now, dude, Division I wrestling, college wrestling, the NCAA tournament, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's just such a cooler. It's so cool to watch that tournament live. It's so cool to watch it on TV. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be in it, but it's like the pinnacle of the sport, right? For college for wrestling.
It's almost like me being new into it. It's almost like it's like an all-star game that matters.
Yeah.
Right. Like
we don't get
this team puts out their best player at a weight, and they go against the other best players at that weight. It's an all-star game that you know what I mean? It's the end-all be-all all-star game.
Yeah. And the event itself is like second to none. I mean, over the years that I've been able to go, like the first time I went and I saw like a whole section of Iowa fans, and then I saw a whole section of Minnesota fans, and I saw a whole section of Okie State fans. And then after every single, or Cornell would have really good fan sections. And every pin counted. Everybody got up. The event itself in person is the best. Like, Mark, how many times have you been to a national tournament?
The NCAAs, I've been twice. But I will say, I just want to share this real quick but I just got to make sure I get the right year. The year Jimmy Kennedy and Coleman Scott wrestled in the NCAA semis, right? Yep. What year was that? That was in St. Louis. Remember?
09.
08,
09.
Something like that. So
2010.
It's the coolest experience. I met a guy on the transit system down in St. Louis. He asked like where we were sitting, and I was like, "Oh, we don't have tickets yet." He's like, "Oh, who you a fan of?" I was like, "Oh, Illinois till I die, bro." He's like, "Really? Me too." I'm like, oh, you wrestle? He's like, no, we just love wrestling. He's like, hey, how many of you guys need? We were like, we tell him, and he's like, I got you. And it was like, what? He's like, I got you. I come down every year. There's 5 of us, but my buddies can't make it. And so he gives us tickets to every session but the finals. His buddies did come down for the finals. Dude, we were on like 3 rows back, like right on the floor, dude. It was the coolest experience of my life. But where I wanted to go is like when you want to talk about what a tournament, what a
Mark's got 2 daughters at home. Thinking, fuck, what about if they were born, Dad? He's talking about some free tickets he scalped.
Yeah, right. So anyways, this for the finals, you know, we paid nowhere near what people pay for tickets now, but man, we were at the way up top in the cheapest of seats. And like everybody around me is wearing black and yellow and they're girls. And so I'm talking to this girl and I'm like, so who you here for? She's like, oh, I graduated from Iowa 2 years ago, but I come every year. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, I used to date Matt Anderson. And I was like, the 157 pounder. And she's like, oh, you know him? I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm like, we guys still together or something? Like, you're here, right? She's like, oh, no. But I love NCAAs. Like, I love this. And it's like, dude, these girls love this shit. And then, you know, you look back at it, dude, it was such a cool experience. And I'm not even talking about being in downtown St. Louis and all the riffraff and the fun stuff that goes on. Because I was sober. I had to DD for my buddies for 3-4 days. And, but dude, it's just the coolest experience of my life, dude. There's nothing cooler than being at the NCAA. If I could pick a vacation every year, it would be to the NCAA Wrestling Championships.
Yeah, interesting. Well, hopefully I mean, Cleveland's not too far away. Cleveland's a good site, I think. I don't know if I've been to the Cleveland one. I know I've been to Michigan, and then I was at St. Louis a lot, and Nebraska, I think I went to. So
I did St. Louis.
I got a question. I'm not comparing the two, but is it similar to like the IHSA tournament where it's crowded? It's only crowded at certain times because it's like broke up in different.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not jam packed the whole time. It's.
I mean, it's pretty packed. I mean, especially when it's
in IHSA, but it's got like Thursday morning, that first session. There's a ton of seats open.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of wrestling.
I would also say,
I don't care how much of a fan you are, man. That's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I would say Friday morning is a little thin just because people spend all Thursday night drinking, and
yeah, it is a big drinking event. I will say that.
So is our podcast. It looks like.
Yes, it does. He's drinking for the 2 of us. I will say this. I won't name the coaches' names either, but my first experience on St. Louis, dude, I went into a liquor store / gas station type of thing. And, dude, I ended up having to deal with some, like, drunk idiot, like, not wrestling people, but they were, like, trashy town. And me being young, I kind of, like, and sober, I kind of laughed at him. And it was like, and then I was like, oh, shit, this is getting kind of, like, bad. And this dude these couple dudes were behind this group. They were wrestling people. I'll say this. They coached at Iowa Central.
Mark says, I'm not going to say the names, but then he gives complete descriptions of who they are, where they come from.
He was probably a 41 pounder, and he was a coach at Iowa Central. But, dude, he actually was like, and he doesn't know me from anybody, but he, and like whoever he was with, he says to these guys, like, hey, we got a problem here, motherfuckers. And I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. I know you. I knew exactly who he was right away. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. And then they were like, all right, we're cool, dude. We're cool. And I was like, sweet. But like, that's like, you know, that's that wrestling community, the drinking,
yeah,
a lot of fun. So like you said, like Friday morning session, it's pretty empty. And even some of the people that are there.
There's a lot of diehards though. I mean, yeah, you just got to go. Once you go a couple times, you'll see. I went one time when I was in Iowa, and that was cool because everything was really close to each other. So like they had like a strip of restaurants, bars, and then the arena. And then during the break, they had the like the fan arena too, where like all the fan festival and all that stuff. That was a good year.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where was it at? Like, was it at Dan Gable
Whatever.
Arena, or whatever it's called.
No. This was in a big city. I don't know which one it is. Cedar Rapids?
Okay. I got you.
It wasn't at Iowa, like
No.
Iowa.
No. This was most recent. It was more recent.
Yeah.
I'd see Des Moines would probably be the only one with a big ass.
The problem is with D3.
Des Moines, yeah, 2013, Des Moines, Iowa. Wells Fargo Arena.
Okay.
The problem with the NCAA tournament right now, in my opinion, there's two big problems with it. Is the pricing for tickets. You better know somebody to get tickets through a university, or you're going to pay out your fucking ass for anything that is remotely close to being able to see something. The tickets will go for a lot now. And it kind of makes it hard for the average Joe to enjoy it when you're spending what you spend on a hotel a night down there, right? And then everything costs money down there. And you got to expect it to, but it's super inflated in pricing. So it's not becoming something that the average Joe gets to do. It's, you know what I mean? It's, you got to have a lot of listening to be there. Meaning,
Well,
like,
I think the good thing about it, that problem is true. I think it seems to be the case for every event and everything, whether it's kids state or college wrestling. But the coverage on ESPN Plus is awesome too. So it's if you're not able to attend, you can watch and pay attention. So that's good. Let's go through Illinois kids wrestling this weekend, and then see where we go from there. But there's 18 athletes from the state of Illinois who are wrestling in this tournament. Now, last year, I believe the Illinois statistic was a lot better as far as like outcome, but going through the list of guys in this tournament, I think it's going to be a good showing from Illinois this year.
For an All-American
what's
standpoint.
that?
You're saying from an American standpoint. There's definitely a lot of guys with a good chance too, for sure.
Yeah. Obviously 125, Vincent Robinson, returning national champion from NC State. He got third at the ACC, so not coming into the tournament, as like the top seed, and but he didn't last year either. And he's going to actually wrestle Spratley in the first round, which is insane.
Is the last year's NCAA final will be a first round matchup.
Yep. Assuming they get through their prelim.
Yeah, assuming Conrad Hendrickson doesn't take out Vince Robinson, or Andrew Binney from Navy doesn't take out Spratley.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Diego Satella from Michigan, also from Harvard. He's at Michigan this year. He got sixth at the Big Ten. He's in the 125-pound weight class, and he's got a first-round match with prelim match with Steve Poulin from Iowa State. And whoever wins this match is actually going to be in a fairly, that Seymour from Lehigh is pretty solid, but
yeah, he is 19-0.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who else? We got 33 Bendavino, Ohio State. He gets the number 2 seed, and then Markel Baker, he gets the 8 seed. Is that right?
Yeah.
And obviously we were talking before, surprising that he got the 8 seed over.
I just feel like with a max schedule, like Zanfuga took 4th at Big Ten. He's 4th in the country last year at this weight. I get it, he had 6 losses, but he wrestles in the Big Ten. He got a seed. There's Jacob Van D, Nebraska. There's so many guys that got, but hey, good for Markel. Like, Markel's tough, dude. And you're strong, and
and he's in a good position. But that Zanfuga is I've seen it, talking about the history of the NCAA. There's so many times that you think a guy is a lock and somebody goes down because all these guys are so good. So Jack's Forest for Zanfuga. If Zanfuga won, it would not be the first time in history that the number 1 seed got beat right there.
Yeah. I think the thing that's crazy in that bracket, though, is I think anybody with a brain knew Ben DeVino was going to be like, at some point in his college career, would be lights the fuck out good. Like, just that fucking good. I didn't know if it would be right away. I mean, dude, they're so hard to tell. There's been so many great high school kids who came in and, like, even in the red shirt, they look really, really good. And year one comes and it's the real schedule and they take their bumps and bruises. But, dude, Ben DeVino went 20-something and 1. Avenges the loss to Blaze in the Big Ten finals. And the reward for that. Like, dear NCAA, Craig Anderson, seed your brackets. Because you're fucking telling me that Ben DeVino is the 2 seed and he gets now. Lucas Bird didn't have a great Big Ten, but both his losses on the year, he also beat both those guys. And they go, well, it's returning champ, 3-time All-American. You're the 7 seed. DeVino, you get Bird in the quarters, and if you beat him, you get the winner, most likely, of Drake Ayala, the returning 2-time returning NCAA finals. We got a 6 seed, and Marcus Blaze. That's the other quarter, right?
Yeah.
Or the other, yeah. So that's your sum. You're going to get those two. You're going to get them. Meanwhile, on the top, you get Aaron Seidel and Kyler Larkin, like, with no proven track records. So the reward for the freshman DeVino is you get a side of Bird, Ayala, and Blaze. Forrest gets Seidel and Larkin.
Where's the Wisconsin kid? What, top or bottom?
Oh, Fu gets all the way up top. He gets Forrest, like, in the first round. But I'm just saying, in general, you just took last year's NCAA finals and put them as a 6 and a 7. And I get it. I'm just saying, for DeVino, he's got to go through. He's going to go he would be quarterfinals Bird. If he wins that, he gets semifinal of Blaze or Ayala to get to Jax Forrest.
Yeah. But that, again, that's the beauty of this tournament. This is why this is the tournament of all tournaments. This is the one.
It's quarterfinals, second round.
No, third. So they got prelims, first round, then quarters.
He gets Tyler fucking Knox in the second round. DeVino does.
Yeah.
Which I'll say, I'll put it out there now. DeVino will smash Tyler Knox.
But Tyler Knox is good.
Tyler Knox is really fucking good. DeVino will smash Tyler Knox.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I'll put myself out there. I made a prediction earlier in the year, and I said, to me, Bird will win this weight because Bird is just so hard to score on. And right now, as much as I like Lucas, and I'm always going to be a huge fan, I don't think he beats DeVino. I think DeVino is so good. He moves so well, and I'll admit, I always like to say, prove me wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I was wrong. I don't think that Bird beats him. I would have liked seen Bird Blaze. I think Bird beats Blaze. I don't know if we'll get that match.
But, I mean, it potentially is going to happen somewhere.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I thought, like, if you were to seed them, then that would have been a perfect match for Bird to win because Blaze doesn't create a lot of action unless he has to, and that might hurt him against a guy like Bird. Whereas I think DeVino's going to come out guns blazing, attacking left-handed, and that's going to be a problem for Bird. But, yeah. 41.
Well, going 41, we got Nasir Bailey at Iowa, got third at the Big Ten. And Lorenzo Frezza from Columbia. Now, Nasir Bailey, I know. Lorenzo, I don't actually know. So, Mark, do you know?
Yeah, and coach Frezza. He was a Stevenson kid.
I thought that was somebody else. I thought that was damn. I'm not even gonna remember his name now. I thought there. It'll come to me, and I'll tell you who I thought it was. Renzo
Augusto.
Morgan? Yeah. What
Renzo
happened to him?
was at Elmhurst.
Okay.
And then you're thinking of Renzo, the kid from Deerfield that was small.
Renzo. I don't know. I thought he had a more complicated last name than that. I thought it was like Renzo Morgan.
That would be the one from Deerfield.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to him.
Well,
he was a built by Brunson kid.
Yeah.
Well, Bailey's on the bottom and Frezza's on the bottom too. But Bailey, I mean, I think, Bailey's got Sergio Vega. I mean, I think highly of Nasir. I think he's so talented, so he could make a close match out of it. He's a guy that can get a takedown in anybody. It's just whether or not he can go hard for 3 periods and avoid some of the Vegas slick stuff. But I don't know enough about Frezza to know where he can land in this. He's going to feed into.
Frezza's always been tough. I haven't seen him since I remember him in high school. I mean, he's got a big one ahead of him just to get past CJ Composto, however you say it. He's good as hell.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yep. 49, Ethan Stiles and Caleb Tyus from SIU Edwardsville. So Tyus, an in-state kid at an in-state school. Stiles obviously got second at Big Tens. And yeah, I think Stiles actually has a really good spot. I mean, both of these guys do on the bottom side. The bottom side doesn't look like it's outside of Jackson Joy.
I got some opinions on this that are going to differ.
Okay.
Kane Tyus is really good, but I don't know who is Kane Tyus beaten this. This is not a knock.
Well, I was going to look up some of these guys' brackets or some of their matches this year, but I don't know what you call it, but the place where wherever you can look at their results on their website where it was down. So
yeah, yeah, I mean, stuff. I just don't know where Kane. I don't know.
Hold on, I'll be ready in 1 second here. I'll be done moving dogs around.
I mean, Kane's been tough. Bethalto Civic Memorial kid, always tough. I just don't. I don't know who's beaten this year. And
well, who do you think? Does Jackson Joy just run through the bottom, or Ethan Stiles have a shot?
Ethan Stiles, it drives me crazy because he can scrap, and at times he looks so not capable of scrapping, but he's so always ends up being. Does that make sense? Like sometimes he looks. I'm confused at what he's doing, and other times I go, man, he's good. Yeah. But I think that he can be a problem. I think Stiles can give Jackson Joy problems. Jackson Joy might also blow the doors off him because Jackson Joy scores point. He has that nasty, weird cradle he hit. He's got a little bit of that like elite Cornell wrestling funk that we saw from like Vito and Yanni D and some of those other guards over the years. Meyer Shapiro. And I think Jackson Joy wrestling Meyer Shapiro every day.
Probably helping.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good. I just believe that Stiles, but Stiles definitely can beat him. Ryder Block could give Jackson Joy problems just because Ryder Block's so hard to score on. But then you can't score and then give up 4 stalling points.
Tough. Yeah.
What high school was Ethan Stiles from?
He's a Montini kid who transferred to Conant after he left or got kicked off but we don't know.
Yeah.
So he's not Civic Memorial kid.
No.
Okay.
Civic Memorial.
All right.
Caleb Tyus is.
Yeah. But 157. This is actually an interesting one. I'm interested to hear what you think, Mark Stewart. But we got Cannon Webster and Vince Zerbin. Yeah, this is an interesting bracket. I think personally, it looks like Cannon Webster can get to the finals. He's got 2 guys in his path that he's had close matches with. So it's there.
Yeah. Here's what I think. 2 years ago, I watched Cannon Webster beat Antrell Taylor twice. After Antrell Taylor did he All-American at 165 that year and went down to 57 last year. He lost to him close this year. I would hate to be Antrell Taylor right now. I would hate to have Cannon Webster in that quarterfinal matchup. Cannon's more than capable of beating him any day of the week. But if he does, he had a 1-point match with Meyer Shapiro this year. if Cannon wrestles lights, if Cannon's on his, like if Cannon is Cannon, there's a good chance we see Cannon Webster in the NCAA finals against PJ Duke. I do think that as good as Caleb Larkin is up top, though, he's not going to beat PJ Duke. Now, going back to another Civic Memorial kid, depending on how healthy Vinny Zerban is, I don't know why Andrew defaulted out, but his first round matchup, like that pigtail round, the round of 32, is one of the cooler matchups. Charlie Millard has been like hit or miss this year as well. He's really freaking good, Wisconsin kid. He's cutting a lot of weight to make 57.
He was 150. He was 157 3 years ago at Fargo.
Yeah, and then he was 170 his senior year. 165, 170.
165 maybe it was then.
Yeah. But he's big as hell at 57. He's one of Cannon's losses, although Cannon got a concussion and then proceeded to beat the shit out of him at Big Tens. But the Millard-Zerban match first round is really kind of an exciting one. If Zerban wins that, he gets dropped. But I think a healthy Vinny Zerban, he's a returning All-American, guys. Like, I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know why he forfeited out. I don't want to know. I just hope he's healthy. And I think if he's healthy, Vinny gets on the podium.
Yeah. Well, his style, I mean, to last a whole season with his funk is a challenge.
Yeah.
165. This is exciting. Will Denny at NC State and Mikey Caliendo. Yeah, I saw the bracket. I think the bracket is actually pretty interesting to see if I mean, I don't know how, if I've seen a couple matches of Will Denny, and I've seen that he is definitely jumped levels back again. And so I just don't know if he can beat Joey Blaze, but if he could beat Joey Blaze and that could be a Caliendo Denny semi, that would be super cool.
Yeah. You know what I do think, though? I do think that they gave Will Denny a 10 seed, even though he had a terrible ACC, right? That was a terrible. What did he get at the ACCs? He only had
fourth. He got fourth.
So he lost at the ACCs twice. He had 2 losses all year, and yet they didn't hurt. It didn't hurt him too much. I mean, he got seeded 10th, and I think he was ranked like 10th, 11th, anyways. So like his Big Ten, his conference performance didn't affect him, whereas it affected a lot of other guys. All that being said, I wouldn't. I definitely see a matchup where Denny beats Lehigh Brignola from Lehigh, the 7th seed, and at least he puts himself in that quarter with a chance to guarantee himself as a semifinal. It is not a rough 10 seed spot. Like there's other spots in these brackets where you're a 10 seed and they go, fuck, he ain't beating that 7. There's a good chance Will Denny makes the quarters, and I wouldn't put it past Will Denny to beat Joey Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, he's tough. He is.
But wasn't there one more in that bracket?
Caliendo. I think Caliendo's I mean, he's my favorite to go to the finals for sure. I mean, he's just so damn tough. Like he's just nonstop.
Where is he from?
He's from
Batavia.
Batavia. Yeah.
Okay.
Wrestles at Iowa, obviously, and yeah, he's basically looked outside. He did lose to Joey Blaze earlier in the year, so it's like if you go head to head right now, he's not looking. You know, I don't even know how. I think it was like an overtime match or a takedown match or something, but Caliendo has looked unbeatable outside of that match, and then every time he wrestles the champ Messenbrink. But I mean, I'm interested that weight class alone, right? Lockett versus Messenbrink. That's an interesting semi to
Actually, I'm going through this bracket. I've done it already once, and I go, damn. Like, I really like that 17-16 matchup because it's like Braden Scholes and Patty Gallagher. Neither guy had a great Big Ten. But then, you know, that's a first-round matchup, and that's like Noel Mulvaney and Andrew Barbosa. Barbosa's the kid that knocked off Blaze at the Big Tens right out of the basket. Little Parco versus LJ Arujo. There's a 27 and a 6. Matthew Oligan and Ryder Downey. I mean, dude, there's a ton of just great, really tough matchups right out the bat, right out the gate.
What weight is this?
65.
65.
So yeah, I remember Parko at Super 32 3 years ago was 150.
Yeah.
Not much.
And I think they thought he was like going to be like his brother, right? And he's clearly bigger. Clearly bigger.
Yeah.
74.
74, Colin Kerrigan. He's a state champ from a few years back. He got third at the ACC. And then Colin Kelly, he took 7th at the Big Ten. And 174. Where are they at in the bracket? Top side or bottom?
Kelly's in the bottom. He gets Danny West, who's a returning NCAA American in the first round. But like that's a really good, like, dude, Colin Kelly can definitely, that's a good matchup. Like that'll be a tight match. Colin Kelly can definitely win that match. And then Kerrigan's at the bottom too. He gets Maddie Singleton right out the bat.
Okay. Yeah, 27 seed, so he's not too up there.
And then, I think the one thing that I wanted to bring up, because I thought he got super flocked by the at-large, and I forget where they showed it. They showed a breakdown of some of these. So, like, I'll bring it up real quick, but Joe Dubuque posted on Twitter, like, if you don't qualify the right way at the Big Ten, you don't deserve to be in the tournament, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, Joe Dubuque. You wrestled in the Big Ten. You know what there's a big-ass difference. Stop letting these shitty kids that took 4th and 5th at the EIWs in the fucking NCAAs, you moron. Because
he's politicking, though, obviously, right?
Because he now coaches in the EIW.
Yeah, and you want more allocations because you get better recruit. I mean, you can recruit with allocations.
Cool. Cool story, dude. But here's the thing. I lost my train of thought. God damn it.
Who didn't qualify?
Oh, kid I like a lot, too, from Northwestern. 74-pounder. Who is it?
Eddie Enright.
Eddie Enright beat a kid 8-1. And from that, I forget where. And then that kid also lost to so-and-so who Enright beat, and yet they ticked that kid in. And it's like, dude, that's my problem with these fucking at-larges. They go like, well, let's get equitable here today. Let's make sure we cover these conferences and these. And it's like, no, dude, put the best kids in the fucking tournament. I mean, of Eddie doing shit this year at the NCAAs, I'm honest, very, very little. But the chances of that other kid doing anything, none.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't even win. He didn't. Eddie didn't even. He didn't win the 11th place spot either. So
here,
he just got back. Yeah, he was off for 2 weeks. He was off for 2 weeks. Like he had stitches in his knee, and he was wrestling with stitches in his knee.
I don't even care about all that. The reality is that the reason that 174 had so many allocations from the Big Tens was because it was such a far superior conference with superior wrestlers than the rest of the country. And I go, I get it. They didn't win the 11th place match. Okay, so what? It's so much better than the rest. If you're not in the Big 12 and you're not in the Big 10, minus a couple ACC schools, I don't really care about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where I really wish. I think I've mentioned this before. I think I've talked about this idea before, but you have to make certain tournaments have like qualifying points so that people are forced to go wrestle in those tournaments because, so many guys don't get certain matchups and then they wait until the conference tournament to get into their brackets or whatever. But if you had the Southern Scuffle, okay, if you win this tournament, you get so many points. If you get second, you get so many points. If you look at Vegas and you get so many points, if you get, having these tournaments have allocation, things that come along with it, you could get all those other schools to compete with each other a lot more. And then, there would be a reason for them to wrestle, I guess, better schedules and,
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Mark? That happened? Right. How do they do the allocations based off of their ranking and common opponents?
They have a committee that gets together.
No.
Based off of like the RPI, and they have a thing that determines it based off of like your who wrestles who these wrestlers have, their past results, stuff like that determines how many allocations each conference gets at each weight.
Yeah, that's why I wish I don't know. Who knows? There's got to be a better way to not make it the political, equitable, give everybody balance stuff like that. But either way,
Let me
let's not
ask.
get
I
too
got a
long.
question. Like, speaking of Big Ten schools, and I didn't obviously. I sitting here in silence because I know so little, like the college wrestling yet. Maryland, do they have a guy that's going to win or do well?
No.
Probably not win, no, but they got a couple guys in the tournament.
Do they? Good. All right.
Yeah. Going up to
All-American this year is out. He took a red shirt. Jackson Smith. They had 4 qualify. Carter Young transferred in there. He could, Carter Young's been good for so long and never really panned out, but always had the talent. I mean, as a senior in high school, he beat 3 NCAA champs, I believe. I think he took second at the U.S. Open in freestyle as a senior when he was training at Northwestern with Jimmy Kennedy. When they decided the COVID shit and got rid of Kennedy, and he left and decided to go to Okie State, which is funny because Kennedy ultimately ended up there, but he decided to transfer out after he couldn't beat Casey this year. That's the kid I think could, he could have a tournament at 49, but outside Branson John's been somewhat successful, but I don't know that he's beaten anybody worth a shit. Yeah, I think 33 is just way too good for Braxton Brown to do anything.
And you're talking Maryland. This is Maryland's team.
Yeah. Jeff will come back next year in All-American for sure.
Yeah. But 184 kids from Illinois. We got Abe. I don't know how to say his last name. And then Chris Moore. How do you say his last name?
Voikovich.
And he's a Civic Memorial kid, correct?
Bethalto.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's the same thing.
3 Civic Memorial kids in the tourney.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Highest urban.
Kudos to those guys. I mean, again, just awesome.
And he hates both of them. They all hate each other. No, I'm kidding. I made that up. I just made that up. Got you, fuckers. I don't know shit about him, but I do like Vinny a lot.
Yeah.
I watched wrestle a bunch in high school. I don't know how he's going to do at the Big Tens. All right, at the NCAA, sorry.
Well, let's look at the brackets. 84. Well, Chris Moore's at the top, 9 seed. He feeds into Silas Allred, and then the quarter, and then Abe is right below him. He's got Brock Montona. So that both, they're not sitting in easy spots. So they're going to have a really good wrestling tournament.
It's interesting is like Silas Allred is Silas healthy? He forfeited 1 second into the semi. Then he forfeited in the semifinal, wrestled back to Chris, and then forfeited in his 5th place match as well. Right? He forfeited out after 1 second into the semi. He forfeited out. Okay. Don't know why. So, Chris may be in a good spot to make that quarter. If you get by Joe Curtis and then get a Silas Allred, I don't know if he's healthy not. And even if he is healthy, like it's a really good matchup for Chris, right?
Yeah.
He's a 9.
If you look at that though, what you just showed, like I didn't know that in the bracket, but it's like, how does Chris Moore get the 9 seed behind Allred after Allred medical? Like, you would think that would count, right?
As long as if you forfeit before the match begins, it doesn't affect your stuff. It doesn't count against you.
Yeah, that's silly. Yeah. Because if you just take the Big Ten tournament to count, you just switch those guys at least, right? At least. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, good luck to those guys. 97, DJ Parker, Oklahoma. He's from Moline.
Yep.
He was.
He got a 4th place at the Big 12s.
Yeah. He's got.
Who else? I watched him and Elam wrestle. Who else did he lose to? Because he would have lost to him in the semis. Who else did he lose to then?
197.
Pour him kind of strong because we won't be here long.
He lost to Merrill. for third.
Oh,
A 6-4 match with Merrill.
so 2 like big boy losses.
Yeah,
Elam and Merrill. Yeah.
2 good losses, and to be honest, pretty decent. I mean, 9-4 to Elam and 6-4 to Merrill. And so, yeah, where's
His
he at?
first match of the year was against Barr. I know that for a fact. I just remember talking to him down there in Oklahoma. His very first their first duel was against Oklahoma Sooners. First duel was against Penn State.
Well, he looks like he should have a good track to get to the quarters against Josh Barr on Friday morning, though.
We got a tough one. Angelo Posada's tough. His first match is tough. He should beat Bates, but Bates is tough, dude. That's a strong fucking dude up. That's a jack dude. Parker's good, though.
Yeah, he seems like he's having a good year. And then heavyweight, Luke Luffman.
Hold on. Let me tell you another reason why I cannot fucking stand the NCAAs right now.
Okay.
Ingham made his introduction to college wrestling as a freshman, right? One of his 5 dates, he beat Remy Cotton, who at the time was at Michigan State. Wyatt Ingham from Wisconsin. Now, Remy Cotton transfers to Rutgers. And Wyatt kicked the shit out of him in the front side. And then he gets him in the 3rd place match, I believe, or the 5th place match again. And Wyatt beats him again. So Wyatt Ingham beat Remy Cotton twice at Big Tens, twice. Remy Cotton got a 15 seed. Wyatt Ingham got a 20 seed. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know if I followed the rank. I don't know if I followed the seed criteria and stuff in the past close enough to know if this is something that's happened before.
Well, they have a criteria, but it's not, there's not enough things. So it ends up going to like, well, we think this guy's probably have 15. And you got a bunch of people that don't know a fucking thing about wrestling determining where people go in brackets. And it's comical. Anybody with a brain would go like, you can't put 15. He got beat by Ingham twice last weekend alone. And then Ingham plays higher at Big Tens. You know what I mean?
Where would you rather find yourself, feeding into Sonny Sasso or Rocky Elam?
Well, here's the thing. Wyatt Ingham has to beat Bennett Berge first.
True.
Bennett Berge is no joke.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
If he beats him, then he gets Sonny Sasso. But Remy Cotton, he's got a kid, Andrew Real from Brown. Now, I get it. He's 34-4 in the Ivy League. Right? So.
There's not 34 Ivy Leagues.
No, his record is 34-4.
Yeah, well, he's got 34 wins, and he didn't beat up all the Ivy Leagues.
But he doesn't even wrestle Division I kids in those 34 wins.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if he'd have to beat him up, like he'd have to wrestle those guys 5 times again.
Hold on.
34 wins. It's still a lot of wins. I mean, that's a lot of wins. That's probably the most wins in the bracket. 34 wins.
Undefeated kids going to sectionals this year, not qualified for state. I'm not sick.
Say it again.
I watched undefeated kids through the sectional not get out of sectionals in high school wrestling, right? I'm not trying to be a dick, but I've seen it year after year.
Well, no, you bring it up. 34 wins. That's the most wins in the bracket.
It's crazy. I just went to Brown's wrestling schedule, and it said something went wrong.
No, that's what I was saying. All the schools' schedules are like hard, like not all of them, because I went to a few of them today, and a lot of them, all of them are saying they're down. They felt the revolt. People are trying to check their lineups. Like, wait, who?
Yeah. They want to know. They're like, what the fuck, dude? Did it again? Fuck, man.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to 285. Luke Luffman. He's from Urbana. And he's the 26th seed down on the bottom. He wrestles Connor Doucette right away. That's a good one. I mean, Connor Doucette's awesome, and Luke Luffman is a good he's a good heavyweight. They both are really good athletic, bodied heavyweights.
Yeah, they talked about that one being like a really good first, because they said like Luffman should not be a 26 seed. Like whoever determined that is crazy. Now, I'm not saying he should have been seeded in the top 8 because he shouldn't have been, but I don't know that he's anywhere near a 26 in this bracket.
Yeah.
Is Luffman the one where there's 3 of them or 4 of them? There's a bunch of brothers that all are there or no?
No, that's the Brown Eagles.
Are they in this or no?
No. There's Joey's still in college, but he doesn't start there. Zach coaches at Navy. Danny just medically retired from wrestling. He was training at the RTC. He just retired. And Jared Browningle, the oldest one, the one that's real skinny and little. Well, he's not little. He's just like 5'8" and 140 pounds. Everybody forgets about him because he's doesn't look little. He's just doing his Marine stuff, as far as I know.
Yeah, but Luke Luffman gets 8th. He got 8th at the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So, just trying to see where he matched up. I mean, he 4-1 with Keeter.
When you call the guy 5'8", 140 little, Dalton just went. Oh.
People have been calling me little for years, dude. I don't get offended by it.
Dalton's favorite vacation ever was Osaka, Japan. He's like, "Fuck, these are my people, man."
Yeah. That's funny.
When you look at, did you pull up Big Tens or something?
I did. I just looked at the bracket. I was just trying to see where he fell in the head-to-heads with people. But yeah, I mean, he beat the Purdue kid, lost to Feldman 5-2, and then beat the Northwestern kid, and then lost to Keeter. So yeah, I don't know.
And then he medically forfeit in the 7th place match.
Yeah.
You know what's I like the heavyweight wrestling, college wrestling I watched this year.
Oh, cool. He lost 4-2.
There's been close match. It's not like the big guy just pinning the big guy, the other big guy. You know what I mean? Heavyweight wrestling's evolved from, I don't know, because like look at Wes Hand and Brock Lesnar. Like those are two.
Yeah, I think the hard part is our awareness of heavyweight wrestling for the most part. If you watch high school wrestling, youth wrestling, it's always like not very impressive. But I think for the most part, for the last decade or maybe even 20 years since 2006, there have been a lot of good heavyweights. So
for sure.
Mark, you got anything? What were you saying?
Collegiately, for sure, there's been really good heavyweights. Like they could wrestle. They could really wrestle. You know?
Yeah. No. I mean, some of them you can't even. You would, if you told somebody, "Hey, who is Cole Conrad?" and the amount of people they'd be like, I have no idea who Cole Conrad is. Cole Conrad was a mother.
He doesn't. Cole Conrad does not get like the respect he deserves as a heavyweight as good as he was.
He's one of the best ever.
He's just
polar bear, just.
But he looked like an oaf, and he didn't have much of a like personality. You know, he wasn't like crazy. Just was mean as fuck, stoic, tough as shit.
Yeah,
beat the shit out of dudes.
Yeah, beat Mako when he was at Okie State. Yeah, he's a legend in the game.
Where's he from?
Conrad.
Which school?
Minnesota.
Oh, I thought you meant he's from Illinois originally. I thought he was like Illinois high school. Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't actually know where Conrad's from. Maybe Wisconsin, to be honest.
From Wisconsin. He went to New London High School.
Yeah.
And Freedom High School in Freedom.
Yeah, I knew that. I see. I've got stuff in there.
He's from Wisconsin. That's where Big Tone's from.
Yeah.
Where?
They breed him big up there.
Where?
Madison, Appleton. Isn't that what you said?
No, I said New London, and then he transferred to Freedom.
Oh.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy about him? I remember somebody saying this, and I was like, no way. And I watched this thing. They said Conrad, he's a full-time commodities broker. But dude, he was 9-0 in Bellator. And whatever, he fought like twice before that. Dude, he beat the shit out of dudes in MMA. Like, beat the fuck out of them. And then he was just like, all right, I'm done. And he walked away. And I never understood. I remember seeing this thing about him, like talking about how good he was. And he left to be a full-time commodities broker. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure they make a lot of money.
Yeah, if they're good, probably. Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
he
old,
never seemed like that.
how long, like old school, if Bellator has been, I mean, I've just been around for a while. Like an old school Bellator is like nobody's getting protected. Like they don't care if you die. So like 9-0 in Bellator is insane because nobody's protecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if you haven't seen Cole Conrad, you got to go search him.
No, I'll
good.
Google him. Cole with a C or with a K?
Cole with a C, Conrad with a K.
Yeah.
One more guy in my Google search history.
Yeah.
If my mom goes to my phone, she's gonna think I'm gay. Like all it is.
Conrad defended his title one time before retiring. He won it, and then he waited 18 months to fight. And they gave him a fight, and Greg Nelson, this trainer, said he trained for a single day for that fight, and then he proceeded to took the fight to the ground quickly and dispatched and won in less than a minute, and then retired.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah. So NCAA wrestling has always been blessed with some really good heavyweights, and I think the last 10 years it's easier for everybody to be like, oh man, there's really good heavyweights, but it's like, that's anybody who survives the amount of time that it takes to train and stay involved in wrestling to be a Division I wrestler. I think heavyweights, they can produce some of the freakiest athletic, freakiest athletes, just huge.
Oh, yeah.
And can do. I mean, again, these guys can do backflips. Some of them. So,
like the last time I watched heavyweight, when Tony Cassiope was wrestling for Iowa, that was a big like. Okay, we're gonna watch him. And then, of course, you watch Gable Stevenson. I think last year because it's Gable Stevenson. But like I'm the biggest casual. Like I'll admit it because it's so obvious. I think, but I'm into it this year. There's like. I'm interested in 125. I'm interested in 133. And I think I skip a couple, but yeah, like there's I'm excited. It starts Thursday. I mean, I know when it starts. I don't even know when. Yeah, it's just a tournament starts. I was there.
An anniversary. I don't know my kid's birthday, but the tournament starts Thursday.
Yeah.
What? I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited this year, and I'm definitely excited the next couple go arounds because there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Are we going to do D3s real quick?
What I was going to say is, before we go, I just wanted to, give a shout out to all the Division III wrestlers that are wrestling at Nationals this weekend. Again,
you have
couple Illinois. Yeah, I have a list, and I see the problem is I'm not good enough with names, so I don't know which kids are from the state of Illinois.
I think I do. I don't even need to go through the brackets. I can just look at the names and I'll tell you. Like at 25, I don't think there's a single kid from Illinois. At 33, though, Connor Kidd, I believe he's from Morton, and he wrestles for Luther. I believe Patrick Mullen from Wartburg. Did he go to IC? I forget. Ooh, let's see.
Okay, so you're looking at the brackets. This is just a list of schools with their qualifiers.
Oh yeah. This is tough. I could just go through the brackets and tell you though.
Okay, go through the brackets then.
Let me go through the brackets or no? Yeah, I can do it.
Well, just see if you know anybody.
Yeah, so like Connor Kidd, he's from Morton. I believe Pat Mullen. Pat Mullen, did he go to IC his senior year from Wartburg?
I remember that name, Pat
Mullen. Yeah, 41, Dresden Grimm, right? Co-college. Where did he go in high school?
Yellow and purple singlets in the IK. Matman. What's the IK club called? Matman.
I don't remember, but
Mendota Matman.
Maybe. Here's another one. Sean Conway. He is an Illinois kid. He's also 7 seed. Chase Caleb. Caleb Nobling's now wrestling again. He's at University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. He qualified. That's 41. I might miss it. Josh Robinson is not an Illinois kid. I believe he's a Crown Point kid. Maxime Mukhamadeliev from University of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We love Maxime. Stud. Wrestles for the great Steve Marianetti. Or no, he's at University of Chicago.
Yeah,
He wrestles Nick
Gentry.
Or Matt Gentry. Sorry, why did I think of Nick? Nope. Chase Pfizer. Dom Malander. He is from Illinois, I believe.
Yep.
No, he is, right?
Yep.
Ryan Hinger.
Whitewater. He's at Whitewater.
Marianetti over at Elmhurst. He's qualified as well.
50. Renzo Augusto.
Yes, Renzo Augusto. He is so fun to watch. I talked to his dad at CCIW's. Super nice guy. So jiu-jitsu over wrestling. He will be fighting when he's done with college wrestling. Just putting that out there.
Sounds like I like that guy already.
Right?
Just because he's the Elmhurst guy.
Yep, no debates. He's going to fight. He's like the next Ricky Lamas or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Renzo Augusto. There's one other one. Cam Johnson Aurora. He is also in Illinois high school.
Oh, yeah.
165.
What about James Wright?
James Wright's D2's baby. Get it right.
What?
We love James Wright though too. Braden Pete, Wisconsin Whitewater, Sycamore kid, right?
Yeah, I could see that. Whitewater was one of the teams I was gonna go.
Yeah, he's at 165. I think Braden Pete went to Sycamore. He's tough. I think he's got really great hair. He'd be in like good hair talk.
Really?
Yeah, he's got that shit.
One more dude to Google.
Oh, dude, by the way, I talked to this guy this weekend, and I just want you guys to know, I told him I apologize that his name doesn't get brought up enough in best hair in high school coaching, because it's not even a debate. He's the best, hands down. And I'll say it real quick after I'm done. 74, Butler. Jacob Lucci from North Central is a DeKalb kid. Butler from Whitewater. I swear he's an Illinois kid. I could be wrong.
Jackson Butler, Missouri.
No, Jermaine Butler.
I could be wrong.
Could be.
Wouldn't be the first time. 184. Casey Aikman, North Central, is actually from Michigan. Gianna Smith, Lander Baker, Jake.
Jermaine Butler is from Homewood.
That's right. He's an Illinois Flossmoor kid, right?
You're right.
Called it. I knew that he was.
He was right. Mark Stewart he's not wrong.
He's
not very often. 80.
He's never wrong. He's just not always correct.
Yeah. May not always be. Yeah. What he said. 97, I came up blank. Or 84, I came up blank. 97, I know we got one because we got Mateo Casillas from Muhammad Seymour. Finally woke up and gave up fucking playing Division I baseball.
And he lost to this kid earlier in the qualifier, and he came back and he beat him, right, to qualify.
There's another kid in this bracket that is actually an Illinois kid, and people just don't know it. But Gunnar Garikis is from Lake Forest, Illinois. He went to prep school in Tennessee. His dad is a really nice guy, and he's one of the big guys that helps with Beat the Streets. The Garikis family.
Okay.
If you ever get a chance, you might run into him through wrestling. If the guy ever invites you to his house, I've never seen it. Actually, it's Small World, but my dad has been to the guy's house. He did his fire system for him. He has the best, coolest memorabilia, like huge money spent on memorabilia. So Gunnar Garikis is actually from Illinois, and then Mateo Casillas from Muhammad. And then heavyweight, I only know one. He wrestled for me in the Team Fat Nuts out in Virginia Beach when everybody said our 2A school and Relentless guys wouldn't make day 2, but we ran the gauntlet and even won a match day 2 at Virginia Beach. Marco Mihalapalopoulos from Huntley is now at UW Lacrosse. He's in the tournament. I don't see anybody. Hey, real quick, this best hair shit for coaches. Yeah, I get it, dude. Tyler DeMoss has nice hair. He's got really good hair. Who's the other one we always mention?
Cumby.
Be the Silver Fox. Okay, guys.
Yeah. What's his name from Stevenson we talked about?
Talking about. And I told Shane this. I saw Shane at ISA, and I said, dude, I just want you to know, I'm tired of people not giving you the respect you deserve for that hair. Because
let's see it.
Dalton, pull up Shane Cook. Are you friends with him on Facebook?
I can find him though.
Dude, I've known Shane since I was in high school, and he was at junior college. He was at CLC before he transferred to Illinois with my one of my coaches, Joe Kearns. and he came into our room on winter break. He was just this scrappy, redheaded dude from Waukegan who was tougher than nails. I mean, to graduate high school from Waukegan as a white kid with red hair, you better be fucking tough as shit, because there's not a lot of white kids at Waukegan. And
he doesn't have any recent. Oh, here's a video of his recent hair.
Dude, his fucking hair is so long, dude. He's just locked and loaded, flowing.
I gotta see it.
He coaches Sean Cogan.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Don't forget, I'm kind of the judge of the hair. Like, you guys get to saying who's number one and this and that, but the hair is kind of my thing.
Jim, you put some respect on this man's name, and you will when you see it.
Let's show me.
Okay, hold on.
I've reached my Google search limit.
Do you see that shit? Look how long that hair is, dude. You know you're a badass dude when you have hair that long working at Stevenson High School, dude. Hold on. We got to move your arm, Cogan. We didn't get enough of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wow.
Look at that.
That's a different kind of gnarly, though. That's like, oh God, I don't want to have to call him stepdad. You know what I mean? Because that dude.
He's good looking. He's still got abs, and he's 49 years old.